Hey everybody, my name's Darth Tigger and welcome to my Minecraft world. This is the first world that I have ever played a game in, and this is pretty much my spawning location. I was watching one of the tutorial videos when I first started playing and trying to do what it said to do as it said to do it. So I cut down my first tree right over there. I've since planted a bunch more. And then I came over to this hillside over here, which I kind of changed a little bit. And I started digging in right there. And I made my first little home in there, and then I kind of dug through the mountain, and then I realized I didn't have a lot of livestock near me, so I dug all the way through the mountain, got the livestock, built this, what you see here, that's a cattle herd basically, and I herded them all right through the mountain, and they're over there now. I've got enough that I can breed them, and those are my breeding pens that you can just see over there. And then I decided that that other mountain looked really good, so I made a much bigger castle over there. But I've been, for the past few days, I've been having a little fun. I found some of my old Dungeons and Dragons maps, so I decided to build a labyrinth in my first little place. So, welcome to my home. As you can see, this side's a little bit sparse. That's the trapdoor that I use to go down to mine in, and I mine right down to level 1. And this is the first tunnel that I ever built, going right through to the other side. That's my bed right there. And this is my oven room where I bake all of the stuff that I need to bake. And that is my staircase going up to the top of this mountain, because I've got a little tower on this mountain, and as you saw, a really big tower on the other one. But this is what I wanted to show you. This is my entrance to my first labyrinth. And so we'll just go down here, and this is really the entrance to a Dungeons & Dragons labyrinth that I built. I mapped out 23 years ago. So it's kind of like going back to the golden age of Dungeons & Dragons for me. So welcome to my labyrinth, and I hope you enjoy the tour. Let me just close the door behind me. So, and this is the kind of textures that you can get just from the basic texture pack of Minecraft. But there's a lot of texture packs out there that actually do a lot better graphics. I left a lot of the gravel here just because I haven't had the time to fix it yet. This, what you see here, is all made out of cobblestone because I made some mistakes as I was doing it. And this is made out of cobblestone also. And this is the actual raw stone. I could get it all back to the raw stone, but I have to bake it, and that will take a long time. And I'll do that at some point. It's just, I wanted to show you this. So, every 3 squares, basically, is a 10-foot, the old 10 by 10, basically. 3 squares here is the old 10 by 10 that we used to draw on back in the D&D days. The only thing about it is, when we used to draw, we would draw the walls on the lines. So the walls are actually part of the 10-foot square. So the wall and this becomes a 10-foot square. One wall and this becomes a 10-foot square. So this particular room that we're standing in now happens to be 20 by 40, basically. So it's 20 wide, so you count the wall 2, 3, so that's, or actually the wall 2, 3 is 1, and oh yeah, okay, sorry, yeah, and then the center wall, yeah, so the wall 2, 3 is 1, then there's that center line that I didn't draw on, and then 1, 2, 3 for the next one, so that's actually 20 foot wide, essentially, by 40 feet long. So, and now I'm exploring the dungeon, just like I used to do back in my D&D days. You know, there'd be a couple of trolls in here, or some skeletons lying down or something, and they'd get up and attack you. And actually, what I'm going to do is, right now, I've got all the rooms lit by torches. But you can, if you start taking down the torches, it gets much more spooky. And a group coming into this dungeon would have to bring their own torches with them. And a couple of, that's a little bit of iron on the floor. I'm going to mine that out at some point. There's a little room there, a little room there. Eventually I'm going to have double doors on all of these. It's just I didn't have enough doors right now. Crafting table and a chest. You can have single chests or double chests, no bigger than that. Come around the corner here, and this is a spooky hallway. This is something I had to put in. I'll show you in just a second. I had to put this in because you remember I said I showed you up top that was the way down to my mining level. Well, I actually built the dungeon right through the entrance to my mining level, so I kind of blocked everything off. So I had to build this so I could get down here without having to go through the whole labyrinth. And then I come over here and I go down there, and that takes me down into my mining level. Actually, I'll just show you this for a second here. This is kind of regular stuff, but when I come down here, now you're into the irregular, actually go the wrong way. Now you're into the irregular tunnels that nobody actually mined. These are naturally occurring in the game, and they look like it too. So you could go a long way in these too. In fact, just come up to something here. Can you hear that sound? That's water. And if you look there, that is one heck of a drop. And actually, if I go down a little bit, I'll show you something else too. So, we're way down now. And there's a waterfall. And that waterfall, you'll see them upstairs too. They become pretty important. And there's some lava flows there too, and that's obsidian because the water is meeting the lava flow. And I was using that actually to mine obsidian for a while. Okay, so let's go back up to the labyrinth. This is all naturally occurring stuff, so this isn't part of the labyrinth that I built, but it's still cool. And would be very useful for a Dungeons & Dragons game, or any role-playing game, to be honest. You'd have to build things that looked a little different if you wanted to do something other than, you know, medieval dungeon crawl style games. But for you know, going through caves, this is pretty good. Or you could just make houses or hotels or what have you if you wanted to do something else. So. Back up into the dungeon. Close the door so nobody falls through. So a torch actually lasts a long way, so let's take that out for a second here. See, so you still get some little semblance of light here. Not too much, but... So the main room, and you know, if I could ever figure out how to put a teleporter or something on here, this is where I'd put it. This room was originally designed to be actually round in the center, and I might actually try to make it look a little bit more like that later by just kind of rounding the walls just a little bit. But it was originally designed to look looks like it was round in the center, so that when the players came in here, the room would actually turn on them. So while they were mapping out of it, and they think they're going, north, they're actually going west. But obviously it doesn't move like that. So, and then, so you can see some of the different hallways, and you know what? I've never found where that is. There's something up there. I can see it, obviously, but I'm not quite sure what's up there. I'll have to go up sometime and figure it out. And then, oh yeah, and where'd it go? There. Hear that? That's water too, nearby somewhere. So we gotta find it. Another room. 30 by 30 foot room. All of these rooms are supposed to have doors. They're just 4 30 by 30 rooms. But I didn't have enough materials to make all the doors yet, so I gotta do that. And if you were playing through this with a dungeon master, you'd be doing like a turn-based thing. You'd walk into a room and you'd have to resolve the whole combat. Not quite sure why I left that there like that. I might actually clean it up. The rest of this was gravel fell down on my head while I was excavating here. But this is kind of fun. Yeah, you can really hear it now. And see that? While I was excavating, I hit the wrong block and the whole thing flooded on me. This whole room flooded. Oh, that's definitely going up to that waterfall area there. So you're standing in here. Now the ceiling's only 6 feet high. If I open this up, let me show you what happens if I open it up. Oops. The whole thing becomes a pool. And it's actually quite hard to get through the water. And you can see it dripping there. And if the players carry torches with them, they can light their own way. I built this thing. I built this whole thing. And that's another spot. I have no idea where it is. Oh, wow. That's air. That's neat. This is I built this whole dungeon. I drew it 20-some years ago. I spent the last 2.5 days building it. And I got a map sitting right in front of me, and I still get lost. Okay. I think that's the direction I came from. Oh no, that's not the direction I came from. Or is it? That might actually be the direction I came from. And like I said, it'd go a lot slower if you were actually adventuring through here, because you'd have to have the DM deciding, what's happening and where. Oh, I think I know where I am. Oh yeah, this was a tricky bit. Yep. So, and here's one of our stairs down. I haven't actually put the stairs in yet. Yeah, and then this is going to be a door in another room, and this kind of goes around and it'll turn to the right again. So the dungeon's going to go up and down and up and down. I haven't actually put the stairs quite in yet. Let me just get them out here.